So, yeah, basically what we're doing today is we're going to be looking over, a lot of the builds that you've done over the course of, building within Empyrion and everything. We're going to kind of start with this is the HD2, right? This is technically your first design, but your Mark II version of it.
Yep. First time I ever built something. When I first started playing the game, I didn't even know previews were a thing. I didn't know there was a workshop. I thought you had to build all your own stuff, so I just kind of threw together this.
Nice. So it's like, a little first SV. I mean, I think everybody probably wants to build an SV first, right? Like, that's normally what people like to use in the beginning of their game and stuff. Got the marble ceilings, man. That's chic.
Yeah, the interior on the HD2 is also updated from the HD1. HD1, it had an interior, but it was pretty janky.
Yeah. I mean, you got you got plenty of RCS in there. Yeah, it looks like you got everything in here. You got constructors, you got your ammo boxes and fridges, plenty of fridges here. And then hell, 3 of these boxes used to hold half a planet, so yeah, I think you're pretty much good to go for back in the day here.
I think I started playing in Alpha 6, so those boxes were the shit.
Yeah. And I like how you gave cockpit access right off the bat there for internal. That's cool.
Yeah. I clearly did not understand that, when your cockpit blows up, you die.
Right.
I still kept it with the newer version, but that's just for RP, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's important too. Is like people that play the game versus people that just build. I mean, these are kind of things that you adjust while you're playing with the devices and the designs and stuff, and so little things like that, like knowing it's way more convenient to hop into the cockpit from inside instead of getting out and coming all the way around, jumping up, and all that crap.
Yeah. And that's why I did that. Like, I wanted the internal cockpit because I was tired of getting shot at by drones walking around, so I would just walk in there or get away from the bugs,
Right.
And then...
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize at the time that you could right-click for the different styles.
Okay.
Which is the reason behind that specific cockpit.
Okay. Well, not the worst one, right? Not the worst one, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, not a bad choice.
I made it work.
So yeah, like looking at this now, because this is about how long ago, roughly, did you make this?
Oh man, Alpha 6.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What? I mean, does it pain you to look at it? Is it is it something you look at affectionately? I mean, is it?
I still like it. I definitely like the HD5 more, but
yeah. But I just mean, I don't mean to say there's anything wrong with it. I'm just, like when I look at my older builds, I kind of go like, oh man, like I didn't know that, or how did I do the shapes like that? And
looking at it now, I mean, you'll see on the HD5, I changed most of my issues with it. I don't like wing blocks. They're not HP efficient compared to just building wings out of blocks. The large thrusters better and more efficient just to use a bunch of small thrusters. The shaping of the nose was really blunt, and I'm not really about that. The interior, it wasn't bad, but I just wasn't as good at doing like interior design as I am now.
Right. But I gotta say, like a good first build. I mean, this is solid. It works. I mean, I know you had said with the Mark 1 it didn't fly as good, so you gave it a performance upgrade with the Mark 2. the HG2.
Yeah, with the Mark 1, it was a completely in-game build. Like, it wasn't creative at all. I didn't even know there was a creative mode. This was like taking the Mark 1 into creative, seeing what I could do to make it better, and then, you know, getting the materials in my workshop and actually spawning this one in.
Nice. Yeah, everybody's saying it looks like it's made of carbon fiber, but this is the texture, you know, that this is way before carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, so that was your first one.
Texture. Yeah, I went with that texture because it's like a stealth fighter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got you. So this is the HD5, which is the direct upgrade.
No, there was the HD3, and then there was an HD Knight, which one of my buddies helped me. It was like a cross build, a co-op. And then the HD5 was looking at the Knight, the 3, the 2, and then kind of picking and choosing what I liked best about both of them, and then throwing at it what I've learned. Because I built the HD5 like, I don't know, 2 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you could definitely see the difference, right? Like you could see, but then you can also see that it, you know, you still kind of owed to a lot of the original, as far as the inset kind of deal here with the. It looks cool. Definitely shaping's better. I like the wings way more. It's better. Like it doesn't look as like with the other one, it was a lot, and then you kind of had these wings that didn't really look like it made sense with it. But this looks like it's part of the entire fuselage. Like it looks cool.
Yeah, like I was saying, back then, you know, wing blocks, I just kind of looked at it as an efficiency thing. They were easy to make. But now that I use the workshop and creative, and it's really not that hard to just get the extra materials, and then you get the extra HP at not much of a weight gain.
Right.
And you can make the wings look however you want.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm a fan of building wings, and then, you know, I'll use the modular wings for kind of an accent piece, but not as my main wings. Yeah, they just look flimsy to the rest of the build, unless it's like a super small build.
Yeah. And what I kept with the HD5, or at least I'm pretty sure, is all the engines are breathing, which I'm trying to do more with all my builds, but I don't always do it. Beta thrusters sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we know that's gonna be a thing coming up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it flies good.
And trying to put all the new stuff that's come out, like the shields and the container extensions and all that, obviously made the bulk of the body a little fatter, but I think I did an okay job at keeping the dimensions right. My favorite part of the HD5, those turrets that I made under the wings.
Yeah, no, these are cool, man. I like these. They do. They look like they're gonna swivel and spin and stuff.
I wasn't even planning on doing that. Like, I put the turrets on their wings. That's where I wanted them. But I was just putting armor over them. And then I was like, I wonder if there's any deco blocks that would like go well here. And then I found that. It just kind of all came together.
Yeah, really cool. Very nice, very nice. So you also like to do vehicles.
Yes.
So we have here the police interceptor, which is definitely utilizing the new lighting and the strobing and all that stuff. This is cool, man.
So this actually isn't the first police interceptor. Before they made the strobe lighting, I used signal logic attached to a switch and every time you flick the switch, it would cause 2 lights to flash 1 time. So you would flip the switch like 100 times, and that would cause it to just flash for 100 times, which lasted pretty long. So you could fly around with the lights flashing. But man, it was a pain in the butt to get that signal logic down.
Oh yeah. No, this is really cool. So this is a SV? This is an SV,
Yep.
right? Yeah. Wow.
And my original card, they were really compact builds. Like I'm talking, they all were ruined by the new cockpit mechanics. Like you would get into them and get out and then be stuck in the hole. So they didn't have a lot of details. So in a way, them making it to where you have to have a like larger cockpit to get out of the chair without being in the hole helped me, because it forced me to build bigger, and then building bigger forced me to use more detail, and that's why, you know, this one has like a full exhaust system, an engine, like.
Yeah. No, it's cool. The drivetrain underneath and everything, like that's just really cool, man. Some really good detail there. Like, I mean, you went all out, like the axle, the suspension system. I mean, yeah, it's I love that. Really cool.
Yeah, I even put a quote hood on it so you could open it up and look at the engine and see all the detail. I mean, PvE, it's a good vessel. PvP, it probably would explode pretty quick, but hey.
Yeah, but you know, it's cool. You know, it's just something cool. I know. I mean, I've done a couple of these myself before, something like this, and it's fun. They're fun to do because you can get really creative with, you know, simulating kind of the vehicle thing and all that. So it is pretty cool.
And I even, if I remember right, it's been a while since I built this one. I even made sure like all the fuel tanks were in the back. It's like one big giant fuel tank back there.
Nice. Yeah. So what was that car? A Yugo, right? Like a Yugo?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's cool, man. So explain this one, because this is an interesting build right here. You've got it's an SV, but it's got a couple of flanking SVs.
I'm catching up on the stream. Hold on a second. So I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Hellhound squadron. And
I am.
the idea behind that one, because the Hellhound came first. The idea behind the squadron was there was like server events on the server I used to play with, and they would have these admin ships, you know, they would be like CVs, but they'd change them into SVs, so they'd be ridiculously overpowered. And my thought process was, if I have a ship that's separated by air, and each ship can kind of function on its own, and I just control it from the one, then I could pull fire towards those ships versus having them just focus mine. It was kind of like a decoy thing to make it look like I was more intimidating than I actually was. These, of course, haven't been updated. If you get into the cockpit, you're not going to get out.
Right. Yeah, but this is just a cool idea. I've seen this a couple other times. Like Unaleska did this in a challenge one time.
Yeah.
That's just really cool. Yeah, it's a cool concept. Want to see like the Blue Angels or something? That would be badass.
Yeah.
And what's cool is, you know, you've got Gatlings on all 3 of them, so I mean, when you're firing, it's cool. You're kind of getting that, like, getting all of them firing, and so it probably looks really badass.
Oh yeah. One of the factions I was in on that server, we actually saved up a ton of resources, and I spawned in like I want to say like 20 SVs in the PvP playfield, like around the asteroid belt. And then I just called out in server chat. I was like, hey, there's 20 free SVs in PvP space if you want them. And then me and all my buddies spawned these guys in. So it looked like, you know, there's only 6 of us playing, but it looked like there was 18 ships out there just flying around.
That's awesome. That's awesome, yeah.
Of course, they're not PvP ships, so we got destroyed, but it was pretty fun.
That is cool, man. We gotta get somebody to do some TIE fighters. That would look really cool. Yeah, HECkendiver says, how long did they train the formation flying? It's really good. Good stuff.
I would imagine you'd have to train a while.
Right. So this is the single version? The
yeah, so
the Hellpup.
Originally it was named the Hellhound. I changed it to Hellpup really recently. I don't even remember why. But they had on that server, when you won a server event or something, you could get some of the admin ships, and one of them was the Bulldog, and it was an SV with the same general hull shape, just kind of more boring, but it had HV mining lasers on it. So I took it all apart except for the harvesting box and the mining lasers, and then I built this around it. So I had something that was kind of like a PvE fighter that looked cool and also had HV mining lasers on it.
Doom's asking if this is inspired by RuneScape.
No.
Say no. RuneScape's horrible.
However, I mean, subconsciously maybe I played RuneScape before, so
yeah.
I wasn't a fan, if that makes it better.
Okay, alright, yeah, a little bit. Very cool, man. So definitely your own style here. I mean, these are fairly recent, or these are kind of a little while ago still?
The Hellhound and Squadron were both Alpha 7.
Okay, so yeah, a bit in the past there. Tell me about this guy. Some more vehicles here.
Alright, so this is take 2 of my first vehicle build. The original Dominator was a lot smaller. It was about half as wide and maybe 3/4 as long. And it was built again for that server. They had a boss POI ship, and the only way to really defeat it was either just brute force, or you could pull in a small SV, blow open some hangar doors, and then tear it apart from the inside. So I designed Dominator to be just slim enough to where I could dodge turret fire, blow up some hangar doors, get inside there and blow it all up. And then cool. This version is just kind of trying to update it to where you don't get stuck in the hull when you get out of the cockpit. I'm not sure if it still works. I kind of built it out of nostalgia because I miss flying around in the old Dominator.
Well, what's cool is, like, you know, you obviously built this for a specific function in the game. I mean, you had something that was an issue, and you need to make something really thin and this and that. But you also gave it a theme. It's a car. I mean, you could have just as well done like a skinny whatever, right? But you fixed on a theme and you kind of went for it. And it's really cool, man. And it goes through the A, so you'll see that in about an hour. But yeah, went right through the A. It's got
You're
a
still flying around over trees.
yeah, it's got quite a weapons complement on it too. Jesus, rockets galore.
Yeah, the original Dominator only had 2 homing rockets and 2 Gatlings.
Yeah, this one's armed to bear, man. Yeah. All right, it looks cool, man. I really like it. I like how thin it is. A lot of times with these vehicle builds, like, you know, they'll get way out of hand, but this proportionally looks really good. I like it. Solid.
Yeah.
Then we come over here to our next one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at this guy.
So my wife loves Dodge Challengers, and I love Mustangs. So the goal of this one was to combine the two and make it a spaceship.
Wow, alright.
So it's got the front and back end of a 60s era Mustang, and then the side angle I tried as hard as I could to make it look like a modern Challenger.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
But again, this is a recent build. I want to say 2-3 months ago, and it's got all the bells and whistles that the Interceptor has. The engine, the drivetrain, and all that stuff.
Wheels are hard, right? Am I right? I mean, it's just really hard to kind of do wheels and be happy with them, like tires. You know what I mean? Like, these look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, yeah. I wish they gave us proper I'm not even talking about wheels, but I mean, I wish they gave us like shapes, like you know how there's the 45 round, right? I wish they gave us like a 2-block variation of that, to where it's like a gradual 45, to where you could make like a bigger circle, you know what I mean? Instead of just having a 4-block circle, it could be like a, I guess that would be what, a 8-block or 16-block?
Yeah.
Yeah, but really cool,
doing
man.
large wheels is hard too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard, but this is, again, just proportionally, this looks great. Like, it doesn't look out of whack. It looks really good. Like, you know, because yeah, these vehicles are big. They're pretty big. You know, they got a big stance to them and everything. And yeah, this looks really good, man. I like the front, dude. The front's freaking awesome.
I seem to have started an argument in chat.
Oh yeah. So the back is just yeah, good stuff, man. And then again, you did the full drivetrain, axle, all that stuff, like it, and you even went kind of a step further here. You got the it looks cool. It's really layered. I like what you did with the warp drive and how it kind of goes into what looks like the muffler and everything. That's cool, man. And then the engine here is similar to the Interceptor, I guess, like with the look and everything, with the piping and all that. So this looks really cool, man.
Yep.
Very nice.
It's kind of I don't think I sent you the F-150, but it was an earlier build, and it was the first one I did like an engine on, and you didn't have all the cool blocks and stuff you have now, so it was kind of like a concept idea, and I never went anywhere with it because there wasn't enough blocks to make it happen, and I wasn't good enough to make it happen.
Yeah, I got you.
But now that there's more stuff out, and I've been playing a little longer, actually tackling it, now I got like a process for it.
For sure. Yeah, we were talking before the stream, and I was telling you about the big rig. I'll show you real quick. Because I used to do these, like before I did regular builds, this is kind of how I started, like doing stuff like this. And I went the SV route as well. Because yeah, the HV thing didn't really make much sense at the time. I probably would do an HV now, just because I love HVs, but I know you had said you don't really care for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's not that I care for him. It's just my play style. Like, I spend more time in space than I do on planets.
Yeah, so see, you did better with the wheels than I did.
Oh man, I'm still waiting to see it.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, in about a minute you'll see it, yeah. Yeah, so this was actually an ode to Dogman, for those of you that know him in the community. This is what he does for a living. He's a truck driver and everything. So I wanted to make an SV for him in the game, and you know, so I got carried away, and this took like a long time. But this is back, yeah. This is like Alpha 7 as well. This is a while ago. So things have changed on it and stuff.
This was you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, I found this on the workshop before I even found your community.
Oh wow, really? You're the one.
Yeah, I know this truck.
You're the one. Nice. All right, I found you. Yeah. No, yeah. So it, you know, and it's got a whole internal and everything.
Yeah, this thing was cool because I was thinking about doing a big rig myself, and I went on the workshop to see if one had already been done, and I found this one, and I was like, well, not building this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know, some things got dated and everything, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So I used to do stuff. I don't know if I could do this anymore. I think my mind is too like function minded now. I don't know if I can get that creative anymore.
Yeah, this was cool. Yeah. Have to get back into building cars. Yeah, buddy. The spine's bitter. So the spine spitter, the idea behind it was because it was for the challenge that was level 7 or below, right? If I remember right. And I don't use starter vessels, so I was like, okay, so any vessel that I have at level 7's better than walking on the ground, I guess.
Right, right.
So I made it cheap, made it out of plastic. I gave it a shield, sure, but whatever. It's made out of plastic. It needs a shield. And the shaping was initially based off of an axe that I found on Google for like the wings.
Oh wow.
And then I just modified that, and
Okay.
I wanted it to be really like jagged and sharp looking, and like you were talking about yesterday, how some people like draw with blocks. That's essentially what I did with this.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
I took the basic shape that I wanted for the wings, and then attached a cabin to it, and then once I had the cabin, I was like, well, it looks kind of weird, just kind of like a pod racer without anything attached to the cabin, so it made those little spiky wing things.
Nah, it's cool, man, and that's it. Like, it's hard to put yourself in that mindset to draw with blocks, but I mean, it's really a thing. Like, if you kind of let yourself do that, and then like, there's different ways of drawing too. If anybody, I mean, I'm sure there's artists in the community and everything that actually draw. You do like a rough. You kind of roughly put the proportions out there, and then you go in and you refine. So if you kind of build the same way, you kind of throw blocks out there, and then you figure out the proportions first. Because if everybody, you know, anybody knows when you're drawing or anything, proportions are everything. If you mess up the proportions and then try to go into detail work, it's hard to go backwards and solve that. Whereas if you just get the root proportions down first and then pick at it, you know, then you're going to be a lot better off. So,
Are you muted right now?
I was muted earlier, I guess, when I was going through the big rig here, so, which is fine. It's fine. Yeah, so you know, the daughter, she's running around yelling at me, telling me she wants to go do things, so yeah. But yeah, dude, this is, you know, same thing as I said during the challenge and everything, man. It's just super unique, really cool, little functional builder, just way out of the box. Looks like something that could definitely be like an alien race, an Empyrion or something. It's just cool.
Yeah.
Oh, was I muted for a long time, Big? Oh, Big Feet just got here. Okay, fair enough. So now we get to probably like, just like, I like, yeah, look at this guy.
All right, so with the HEMTT,
Yeah.
I was watching Aegis. I was watching his stream while he was building this Humvee for the level 7 challenge, the starter vessel, I want to say. And you know, his Humvee was looking real nice, so I just got inspired. I was like, I want to build a military truck. So I started looking at different stuff. I looked at like Strikers and Bradley's M1A1s, and then I saw the HEMTT, and I was like, oh, I could do a HEMTT.
Yeah.
And people had been bugging me to do a hover, so
this is sick, dude. This is like, this looks so good, man. I love the look of this thing.
Yeah, I just pulled up because you know that the HEMTT can be pretty much anything: a missile launcher, a wrecker, a refuel truck. So I just pulled up like 8 different HEMTTs, different angles, and started building away. This one's kind of like a logistics truck, I guess, like a mobile command base.
Yeah, dude, so good. Just like you totally nailed the look of it, right? It just, yeah, it looks really good.
And this is also the first time that I realized you could do custom colors.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching one of your streams when you were building, and you had like all the grays, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your color palette? How'd you do that?
Wow. Yeah, dude, I love this thing, man. It reminds me of my super tool, which like was crazy fun to build and just absurd. But this is actually a lot more reasonable. Of a, yeah, I mean, I could see myself using this thing. Like, you could fill the back with cargo if you wanted to, even, and like this could be like a cargo hauler. I mean, it's cool. Moves good too.
Well, Bigfoot, if they just added wheels to the game, then it wouldn't need to hover. We could just solve that problem.
There we go. Thank you. I mean, I get it. I've thought about that too. Like, I've thought about how, you know, because, yeah, we probably could figure out a way to replace wheels, I guess, with something that still looks like wheels, but is, like, future, like, you know, kind of the way the DeLorean, you know, wheels, like, go flat.
Fold up.
Yeah, like that. Like, yeah, I could probably do something like that. I've been
or
thinking
even
about
if
that
they gave us something like from iRobot with Will Smith when he's driving around his car and it's got the spherical wheels on it that go sideways.
Yeah.
That's sci-fi, right?
Yeah. But this looks, dude, I love this. I love the color too. Yeah, just, yeah. That's what I'm about right there. I mean, the little joint thing you did here, it just looks really good, man, with the texturing and all that. It's super good. Probably one of my favorite. Yeah. So yeah, so then we get into kind of the CVs here. Now, which one would be kind of the first one you did out of the three here? Because like very, very different builds there.
So the first one would be the key. Whoa, man, I actually don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the War Turtle was the first one.
Which one's the War Turtle?
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it's like, wow, dude. This is a lot of blocks right here, man. Like, this is dedication.
So, I was under the impression when I first started playing that a CV was supposed to be like a mothership, like big.
Right.
And I know Class 9 isn't that big compared to a lot of people's stuff, but this thing's freaking massive for me. And Class 9 was the maximum on the server I played, so I thought it was like the biggest.
Right.
And another thing with the War Turtle is you could tell like I didn't know much about the game. I barely had any turrets on it at all. Like for a War Turtle, it wasn't very war.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's got a ton of RP inside. Like it's not good RP. I'm definitely way better.
Oh God! Did you do that? You just did that.
What did I do? I'm 40 seconds behind. What happened?
We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait.
Did I by chance have a clone chamber and a medical chamber right next to each other?
Yeah, that you did. That you
yeah.
did. Yep. Right next to each other. No sense whatsoever. Like, just not even separated by one block space. Just literally right next to each other. Alright, well. And we've got 4 massive generators here. Which, yeah, I mean, then we got big fuel here. It looks really cool. This looks epic, dude.
So
this definitely looks epic.
It looked way cooler before they changed the fuel tanks.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Now it's so dark in there.
Yeah, I'm a little jaded though, because I actually do like the new fuel tanks. I like that it looks like a, you know, because when you combine them like you did, they actually look like, yeah, they kind of look like a whole system. They don't look individual anymore, and it looks nice and complex, especially when you put them separate ways and stuff. It just looks cool. But yeah, I wish that the colors weren't so mute and like the weird puke brown. And I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, because this interior chamber here used to glow. Like you would walk in there and just see all the fuel tanks.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah. And then you got the big freaking thruster system here, and then you got another thruster. Yeah.
I later found out that this room is really exploding.
Oh, no, I could have told you that. Yeah, you just had to ask me. I would have told you.
Fun story about the War Turtle. Yeah. So as you can see, like I've thrown some stuff in to update it, like shield generator and all that stuff over the years. But I built this in creative, and I thought it was like this masterpiece, and I didn't know about symmetry either. So this is all hand laid on the shell and everything.
Oh wow.
And it's a stupid amount of materials. I spawn it in, and I think it's like this invincible thing. I take it to go fight in one of the server event battles, and they just blew up my hangar door, flew right into the hangar, and then shot like a missile into the fuel room. Destroyed the whole ship. Straight out of Star Wars, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but how did you feel? Like, you know, because I think some people, they would build something this big and massive and feel this good about it, and then get crushed, and they'd probably be like, you know what, screw this. But obviously you kept going, right? So I mean, did that make you what, like, search to figure out more about what's actually more reasonable building wise and stuff? I mean,
Yeah, it inspired me to do the carrier worm, which is the next CV, and I took into account all the explodey bits on that one.
no, because that's cool, and I think that sets what sets people apart too, right? It's like some people embrace that kind of criticism, and you know, some people don't. They get a little defeated. So I think it's good to just kind of take that criticism and then just kind of, you know, because you know they have their place. This is awesome, dude. This is like super unique and it's really cool RP and everything. So it has its place, and you just kind of keep going and build stuff for different, you know, different game styles and stuff till you build the one that you would really use in your gameplay. And that's when you kind of reach your peak. You know, it's like, okay, this is the CV that I'm using. You know, for me, it's like the Kydex, right? Like, it's like, I built this for me.
Yeah, I'm still not there. Like, I've got the aircraft carrier one on the workshop, and that's kind of been the one that I use, but it's definitely not the one I want to stick with. Like, I like it, but I could do better.
So, yeah, this is crazy unique, dude. Like, just the back, you know, like the spiky back. There's wow. That's cool, man. So the next one here is the the COG, the KOG here.
Yeah, the carrier worm. KOG was just the faction I was in at the time.
Ah, okay.
And
dude, like, this is giving me Scabbard vibes too. Like, if the Scabbard was overtaken by a worm and like organically mutated into something, like, perhaps. Yeah, dude. This is cool, man. So I mean, you know, obviously built for, you know, carrying smaller vessels and stuff. Massive
carrier worm, just like the Hellhounds. It's kind of directly my style.
Yeah.
Like, big, sharp, scary teeth, angry eyes, horns, reds, blacks, glowies.
Nice. Fraggle likes turtles. He's about it. So yeah, I mean, this is basically a vehicle carrier, kind of just, you know. You got the bridge. You've got what looks like a drill turret and a multi-turret in the front here. Literally eat stuff.
Yep.
Got quite a big engine room here, with room for upgradability.
Yeah, down in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Again, this was an earlier build, so even though aesthetically on the outside it kind of had my style, I was still learning how to incorporate the functionality into the aesthetics. I would always just fill a room with something, you know?
Right. So, okay, so then you would basically build the hull first.
Yeah.
Is that still what you do?
Sometimes. When I'm just messing around, yes, I build the hull first, and then I figure it out from there.
Okay.
But a couple of your challenges, like the level 7 one and the starter vessel ones, I'll get like the dimensions of the build, and then I'll make a block of hardened steel for an SV of those dimensions, and then I'll slap thrusters and generators and fuel tanks on there to get my target functionality. So it'll just be a block of steel with thrusters attached to it, and once I get a dimension that I can work with, while still maintaining the yaw, pitch, roll, and thrust that I want. Then I
Right.
cut out the shape from the steel, and then I hollow it out, because now I know no matter what, if I attach this many thrusters, it's gonna work. So I just have to incorporate them into the build, kind of like molding a statue, carving it out.
So this is a very interesting core room. Probably the most interesting core room I've ever seen. It's like this kind of Japanese rose garden tranquility kind of deal here. Like, I guess like you said, you had a lot of space left, and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? We could do cargo, we could do tranquility garden. I don't know. It's a toss up.
So with this room, yeah, pretty much. I was like, okay, core room. I have a lot of room, and it's already high level. I can't go over level 9. If I do, then I can't use it on the server. So,
see, I would have landed on either miniature golf course or like a go-kart course, and just had little tier 1 hovers in here. That'd have been cool.
So this was like my ambassador room.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I got you.
People come up here and we'd have conversations.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, that's cool. I'll buy it. Nah, dude. But I mean, you know, that's it, right? Like you build something to spec, and you know, this took a long time to put out this hole, right? Like I assume this took a lot of time here to kind of crank this out. And
Yep.
you know, so
And
yeah.
I still didn't know about symmetry.
No garden in the garden?
Yeah, no garden in the garden.
No
just
garden in
pools
the
of blood.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we don't need rations. We got pools of blood. All right, cool. Yeah, I see. Very nice.
Yeah, another thing, when I first started playing, I had no idea how to farm in this game. As simple as it is, I had no idea how to farm in this game.
Yeah, I still don't.
I survived off of killing POIs and then eating emergency rations.
Right? Yeah, what else do you need? That's it. That's all you need. My one Let's Play, we actually got a garden. It was like only one of them we got a garden, and we picked it once. And then, like, we were done with the Let's Play. It's like, okay, well, we're done now. All right, so this next CV here is a little more throttled in, but then it's very loud in other ways. Like, it's small. This is a lot smaller, but boy, like a lot of detail in this.
So the Yeomen Ghandar, heavily inspired by the carry-on worm. So Fluffy was in the Discord, and he was trying to find a good CV that could work for whatever HV or SV he was using at the time, and it was rather large. So I needed to make a big old hangar, and I also wanted to make it to where you could pilot the mining. So it's got a cockpit on the back and a cockpit on the front.
Nice.
I don't know. If I played a lot of multiplayer, I'd probably be flying around in this thing.
Yeah. I like the really high hangar. High hangars are like really underappreciated. Like when you're flying in and you're in third person, you could probably still see in this hangar because it's so tall. Like really good. Really good. Yeah, it's just super unique stuff, man.
You're not wrong, dude. See the cards, a big scary monster. We're something in between.
Wow, that is some serious glowies.
Oh yeah. As everybody knows, I'm a strong advocate of glowies.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And the actual entry to this would be from the direct undercarriage. Those 2 stairways leading to the bottom of the landing pad. Those are actually what's it called? Ramps.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, I see. Yeah. 320k ammo cargo control system. Yeah, very nice. So you got two 320k. Yeah, I mean, for this size, that is awesome. Actually,
Yeah.
hold on. I think it's because you got Northern Wood too, right? Yeah, you got four 320k cargo systems. Yeah, I mean, and this solves everything, right? This solves carrying a pretty big couple vehicles and getting them in and out really easily. It solves production. It solves mining. Just a good all-around CV that you can use, you know, all the way to end game. I mean, obviously it's got the drills and stuff, but you could probably, well, you've got medium thrust, so yeah, probably like a mid-level CV at least minimum. But yeah, I mean, this'll handle everything. You still got your teeth and your big scary front hair.
Oh yeah. And I tried to work it to where I know there's a lot of glowies, but I tried to make it to where the glowies were more accenting than the dominating quality of the build.
Yeah, I got you.
And like the glowies on the inside, if you look from the front, make like eye shapes. So it made it even better for the whole monster look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was building this on stream and Fluffy was watching and, you know, he's like, oh man, it's looking so good, it's looking so great. And he had to go before I finished, and like I worked from the back to the front. So he saw like maybe up to the front edge of the hangar when he left.
Nice.
And when I delivered it, you know, he probably wasn't expecting the big angry face on the front.
Yeah, it is awesome, man. But this is it, man. This is, you know, this is very efficient, small kind of CV here, but it's still got all of the character and imagination that you have with the other ones. So it's cool, man. This is, you know, and that's what happens when you just continue to kind of build, right?
Hacken makes a good point. It looks a lot better at nighttime. The teeth glow too.
Nice.
But just like you said, like going from the carrier worm to this, it's only about like a year and a half, maybe 2 years between the two builds, and I definitely feel like I've improved.
No, definitely, you could see it. I mean, just efficiency, right? Like, you know, just because, you know, it, and I'm not even talking about CPU or anything, but just, you know, when you're building and you end up with all this extra space, I mean, obviously that's gonna hurt your pocket because you got to come out of pocket for all that space. You got to, you know, when you're doing the factory, you know. So, you know, as you continue to build, you go like, what's important, what's not important, and then you're actually still able to carry your style over. Regardless, like you find that, you know, it's not about the size that was the style, it's literally, you know, how you're using the blocks and creatively being able to manipulate them, because once you're comfortable with the blocks, you can really get away with a lot of stuff. And obviously with your cars and stuff like that, you're really comfortable with shaping, so, you know, that translates really well when you start getting into bigger stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. So, what would you find to be probably your biggest weakness still that you're trying to improve on as far as building?
I guess my biggest weakness right now would be making. I'm trying to think how to word it. So when you look at your builds and you look at Jay Randall's builds, there's a level of complexity where everything kind of fits together, but at the same time, there's a little bit of chaos going on. You know, a spaceship that makes people think, wow, that could be a real spaceship, has stuff on the outside and like piping and exhaust vents and ports, and the texturing isn't all the same across the whole ship.
Right. I know what you mean.
And on mine, you know, I rely heavily on the glowies, as you can see. My texturing is, I can do texturing, but not to that level yet.
Well, like you've seen Jay Randall's new stuff, right? The Krill stuff where he does the glowies and everything,
Yeah.
but you still get that the complexity, and really what that is just separating shape groups. You know, like you make this like one massive group of shapes to where it looks like one component, and you kind of like layer your build with it. So I mean, he's really good at that. He's really good at like where you would look at it and go, okay, this is the actual fuselage, and then these are like plated armor or something, and he's got like these extra shape groups that, you know, he kind of separates his ship to look like it's, you know, like if you were to take it apart as in construction or something, you feel like you would rip off this entire side panel because it looks like one massive shape, you know?
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, and it's, you know, it's just kind of envisioning it that way. And I think also it might be hard to do that when, you know, probably what you're envisioning is more like a creature kind of thing, right? He does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He does creatures too, which is funny, but he does it in a very mechanical, literal way. Like he does it like almost like a transformer or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it just, you know, it just takes time to kind of build the bigger layers of shaping and stuff, and kind of figure out how that goes. And symmetry, you're using symmetry now, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This was built with symmetry, so.
Nice. Yeah.
Symmetry, and not that it matters too much, but center balance and
Yeah.
all that good jazz.
So being the first, which is kind of funny because it almost feels like Bullet should have been in this position this week, but being the first designer spotlight where we actually kind of know what's coming with CPU and everything, like how do you feel about that personally for like your builds and stuff?
I don't know. Like, I guess it all depends on what they decide to do with it. I'm pretty sure a lot of my builds are going to be over it.
Well, I guess maybe the better question is like, is it going to be something you're going to embrace and try to build for, or is it going to be, you know, I'm not going to build for CPU compliance. I'm just going to kind of continue doing what I'm doing and be creative with, you know, whatever I want as far as size and stuff. Are you going to maybe do both, or?
I'll probably do CPU compliance.
Okay, cool.
Just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at CPU now, and you know, you could sit there and look at the numbers and all that. Even before they announced that they're actually doing CPU, when it was just like a rumor and people were freaking out. Like, you know, me personally, I always want to build within the developer's vision. You know what I mean? Like, they obviously made this because that's how they want their game to be. And what I'm afraid of is a year from now, it's somehow going to be required because there's going to be other elements to it that it would be ridiculous to not do it. Kind of like weights and volumes is now, right? It's kind of ridiculous to not do weights and volumes at this point. Like, I can't imagine playing the game without weights and volumes, with just putting whatever I want in boxes again. It seems ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it wasn't, like, not too long ago, it wasn't ridiculous. Like, you know, I would fly my Switchblade up to the moon and I could just mine all day. You know what I mean? Like, just add more boxes, it's fine. Just throw boxes on the wing, we're cool, you know?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a part of me that misses, you know, oh, I just need this one box that takes up 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I can pack away an entire POI in there.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's obviously it's a huge change, but now it's like, yeah, I can't envision playing without it now. So I'm hoping CPU kind of, you know, adjusts and gets comfortable, and you know, people embrace it the same way. So we'll see. But yeah, it's cool. It's good to hear that you're gonna at least, you know, attempt to, you know, see what CPU compliance does.
Yeah. See what type of little demon monsters I can make.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man.
Oh, they make a good point in chat. I made this for Fluffy in 2 days.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I am really good at speed builds.
Yeah, that's cool. No, this is
Like,
great, man. This is a good build.
Once I get the vision in my head of what I generally want it to be, for the most part, I just go for it. In some, like with this, I knew what I wanted the back to look like. I didn't know what I wanted the front to look like. So as I came to the front of the hangar, I was like, okay, what type of shape can I make work with this?
Right.
And as I was looking at it, I was like, oh, maybe like a NASA space shuttle. So I kind of started doing a shuttle on the front, and then yeah, that kind of turned into a monster at some point.
Yeah. I've had ideas about that, about doing a legit like NASA shuttle, but there's still just not anything in the game that kind of translates how the top folds out. Like,
Yeah.
until they do something like that, I'm not gonna do it. Kind of how I feel about the TIE fighters too, like the windows. Until they give us like round windows and shit for SVs. Very cool, man. Do we have any other questions in the chat? Everybody CPU raging between Bullet and Doom. Nice. You will conform. Oh yeah, do you have any? Yeah, where's your base builds?
Man, base builds. Let me pull open my blueprints folder really quick. See what I got. I don't do a lot of base builds because I live out of my SVs and my CVs.
Yeah, and that's it. Some people just don't, you know. I don't use bases either. I mean, I build them, but I don't use them.
Yeah, I'll typically join a faction and we'll have like a space station somewhere, you know, that we all use as a community. Maps, common, Empyrion, saves, blueprints. All right, let's see what we got here. The dispatch defense, you guys saw that one. I don't really use that one. I made it just for that challenge.
Right.
Oh, yeah. If I sent you one, would you want to look at it?
No, I have to stop it on that. Unfortunately, okay. Yeah.
Well, I could throw it in the Discord for you guys to see.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the Discord. You guys can check it out. So you've done some bases. You got some stuff in your workshop.
Not on the workshop, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Definitely in the workshop. Man, might have to give us a crazy monster unlock level 10 base or something.
Yeah, I did a car dealership.
That is awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this designer spotlight with Hush Dispatch. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come in here and show us everything that you've done, man. It's freaking awesome. Like just really out of the box, really unique. But obviously, you can see the progression. You can see, you know, from where you started, as far as your SVs and even your CVs, and how you've kind of like tightened in your capabilities and stuff, and you're making some really awesome stuff. I mean, you made this in 2 days. That's pretty remarkable, man. So definitely look forward to seeing what you come up with in the future.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, looking forward to the next Master Challenge.
Yeah, me too. It'll be CPU-rific. No, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing for the Master Challenge, but definitely with the challenges, I do want to embrace the CPU stuff. So I mean, there will be, it will always, I think, be CPU as long as CPU's working and stuff. Like, yeah, but still creative. So there's other things that are happening in 10.6 other than CPU. So you got the HV to SV docking, you got the there's a lot of other things going on. So there's definitely a lot of ideas for challenges. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some cool stuff. But I look forward to the premium vehicles that we're going to be looking at once we get done with the POIs. I did do a POI yesterday that I have to we're going to post up here. So you guys will see that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and you got one in there, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. So, some of you guys are assholes for real. Oh boy.
There may or may not be an entire room dedicated.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right, guys. Thanks again, everybody. This was another episode of the Designer Spotlight with Hush Dispatch. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you, sir. Look forward to the new stuff that you're going to be bringing out for 10.6.
Cool beans, man. Thanks again.
Yeah, man. Till then, catch you guys later. Oh, neat.